is it value that people are willing to pay for? Number one attribute off the top is quality. Now, if a person says, all I care about is the price, you say, do you mean then you don't care about the quality? You don't care if it works or anything. I say, oh, well, of course we care about the quality. Oh, so you care about the price and the quality. Aha! Well, then you know that quality is a critical element. Now, what does quality mean? Well, quality doesn't mean that it's good or bad all by itself. Quality means suitability. Suitability means that it is suitable for the customer's requirements. For instance, a quality automobile for one person may be a Honda. A quality automobile for another may be a Mercedes-Benz. A quality home for one person may be a small house, for another person a mansion. In other words, suitability is the critical thing. The most important thing in suitability is fit. Does it fit the customer's requirements? Now here's the other definition of quality, and quality is called conformance to standards. Conformance to standards. Well, conformance to standards, defined by the quality college, Crosby's Quality College, is simply this. It's that the product does what you say it will do and continues to do it without breaking down. It conforms to the standards that the customer sets, that the customer is buying the product for. So we talk about quality. Quality does not mean Rolls Royces for everybody. Quality means that it's suitable and it conforms to standards. Let me give you an example. Over the years, there have been some controversy over generic drugs versus patented drugs. Generic drugs are cheaper than name brand drugs. However, what they have found is that many generic drugs are not as effective as the regular drugs. So as you get a prescription where you take a certain number of pills over a certain period of time, but you get a cheap generic drug because it's low quality and it doesn't take away the problem that you have, and even worse, your body builds up an independence or an immunity to the various antibiotics you're taking. A cheap drug of low quality can end up being extremely expensive in time and cost. So quality is critically important. Quality is what the customer wants and needs, what is suitable to the customer. Here's the second attribute. The second attribute is delivery. A product can be far more valuable because it's delivered fast. It's delivered predictably. It's delivered dependably. Give you a perfect example of delivery is Domino's Pizza. Everybody's heard of Domino's Pizza? The founder of Domino's Pizza, Tom Monahan, realized that what people wanted when they were hungry was fast, dependable, predictable pizzas, not necessarily the best quality pizzas in town. He created a huge, huge industry and made $1 billion because he recognized that the way value is determined by the customer with regard to pizzas is that it's delivered fast, dependable, predictable. Sometimes you can differentiate yourself from your competitors by showing that your delivery is vastly superior to theirs. Here's a third attribute that customers are willing to pay for, and which is more important than actual price, and it is the installation. My secretary had a choice of buying a computer setup with a monitor, a keyboard, hard drive, disk, complete services. She had a choice of buying it from 3 different companies. Now, one of the companies was charging $3,000. Now, this is a list of specified standard factory issue equipment. $3,000. Another company was charging $3,500. Another company was charging $4,000. Which one do you think she bought? I'll tell you. She told me that the company charging $3,000 would deliver it at the doorstep, and it was up to us to unpack it and set it up. The company charging $3,500 would unpack it and set it up and shake our hands and wish us luck. The company charging $4,000 would install it completely, make sure that it worked with everything else, would give continual backup, would make it a worry-free, time-saving purchase. And which one do you think my secretary chose? She chose to spend $4,000 of our money, and I supported her with a company that would give the greatest installation for the identical product. The identical product that was $3,000, we paid $4,000 for, because installation, which was made it worry-free and time-saving, was worth the money. So sometimes what you have to do in differentiating your product or service, you could say, yes, we do cost more, but there's a reason we cost more. It's because it's worth more. Now, here's the fourth attribute that people are willing to pay for, and that's service.